is Miss Karen, your English teacher. Today we're going to learn how to make a memory game. And your cards are going to look something like this. This game has 15 questions and 15 answers, and it is based on the environment and one of the videos called The Story of Stuff, and also any other information that you want to collect about the environment, any facts. I want you to only use cardboard cards that come from the recycling bin or that have been recycled. In this case, you could see that these come from different cracker boxes or cereal boxes or boxes that pasta were in, and so on. Each of your questions must have a capital letter at the beginning and a question mark for the questions. If it's an answer, a capital letter and a period at the end. Make sure that your answers and your questions are spelled perfectly, that you have checked with a dictionary to make sure that you are spelling things well. Let's have a look at some of the examples here. These are questions that come from research about the environment. What are the steps in the system in the video, The Story of Stuff? If you remember that video, the 5 steps are extraction, production, distribution, consumption, and disposal. Here's another question. Why do some people work in factories with dangerous toxins? They work there because they are poor and they have no choice because they can't find better jobs. What is one of the morals of this story? We should buy less stuff. Why is the system in crisis? Because it's a linear system, but we live on a finite planet. A finite planet means that our Earth does not grow bigger. It's just the same size, even though the population keeps increasing and using more and more resources. The fact is that there are only so many fish in the ocean, there are only so many trees on the planet, and we have to be very careful not to use them all up. We have a finite planet that we live on. Who dropped out of school to mine coltan, a metal for disposable electronics? Do you remember that from the video? 30% of the kids in parts of the Congo did. So these are kids that are in the middle of Africa who were in school, but they had to drop out of school to help their families, to go and work in these mines. And that was hard work, and they still work there, and it's very sad actually. What are we running out of on this planet? We are running out of resources. And again, resources means fresh water and trees and oxygen and all of these things that we need to survive. The oceans, everything. We're running out of all of the different things that we use, like the fish in the ocean, and we are running out of good land to grow crops on and things like that. What percentage of the planet's original forests are gone? 80% of the planet's original forests are gone. 80%. Does having more stuff make us happier? Well, according to research, no, it does not. But you might think to yourself, well, when I have more stuff, it makes me happy. But actually, what they say is that as long as you have food in your tummy, a roof over your head, and clothes on your back, that's what you need to be happy. All the basic things, but when you have more and more and more stuff, it doesn't actually make you happier. How many trees are being cut down per minute in the Amazon forest? Per minute. Now think about that. Just think about 1 minute and how fast it goes. And there are 2,000 trees. 2,000 trees per minute are being cut down in the Amazon forest. And the Amazon rainforest is a place in Brazil, and people say that the Amazon rainforest is like the lungs of the earth because we get a lot of oxygen from there. What percentage of total materials that flow through the system is still in use 6 months after the sale date in North America? So if you buy stuff, like we buy, I don't know, packages of spinach and all kinds of foods, and we buy toasters and all these things, what percentage is still in use? On average, only 1% is still in use after 6 months. So just picture when you go into a store and all the stuff that you put in your shopping cart and all of the packaging and all of the items, only 1% is left after 6 months. What does planned obsolescence mean? Planned obsolescence is another word for designed for the dump. So something that is created and it's not created all that well. Like, I had a coffee machine I bought about 3 years ago, and it broke and I couldn't fix it. Even though probably only just one small part of it broke, I couldn't find the part, and I tried opening it up and I had to throw the whole thing out just because of that one part. And that's called planned obsolescence. Is it true that perceived obsolescence convinces us to throw away good stuff? Yes, it's true. An example of that is when we are in school and we look around at our friends and we think, wow, I want to have the same pair of pants as she does. Or, hey, he's got really cool shoes. I'd like to have the same ones as he does. And that is where we have perceived obsolescence, where we think, oh, this thing's no good anymore, I should get rid of it. Even though your shoes, your pants, your hat, your jacket, your school bag, your pencil case might all be perfectly good. In your mind, you think, oh, no, they're not good enough, and you ask your mom to get you new stuff. And that is something to be aware of, so we don't consume too many things. What is the point of advertisements? The point of ads is to make us unhappy with what we have. So we watch TV or we look in magazines and we think, hey, that stuff looks good. No, I'm not happy. I don't like what I have. So that's the point. They try to get you to buy stuff. And we have to be very careful with advertisements. A lot of times what we see on packaging or in ads is not true at all. And a good example of that is when you look at the milk carton and you see a happy cow on there in a field with a tree in the sunshine. Whereas in real life, most of the animals that are used in our system are not treated well at all. And I invite you to do some research on that yourself. What is a landfill? A landfill is a big hole in the ground that people put garbage in. And when I saw a landfill once, it really shocked me. I was near my cottage and I was going for a walk with my kids, and we came across this place in the forest, and all of a sudden there was this huge hole, and in it there was a huge bunch of stuff that was like toilets and bathtubs and sinks and brooms and carpets, all kinds of stuff just thrown into this big hole, and it was going to be covered up by earth, just covered up as if it never existed. And of course there are toxins from those things that seep into the ground and end up in our waterways. And I felt really sad when I saw that, because I thought I was living in a nice place called Canada that had all these nice lakes and everything, and this was something that was hidden from us. And it was quite an eye-opener for me. Has the average house size doubled since the 1970s? And yes, it has. So when I was a little kid, I was born in 1964. So when I was little, the houses were, according to this video, they were about half the size of what an average house is now. Now, you might have noticed this thing here on the floor. You see that? This is something. Yeah, I'm home so you can see my red slipper. This is something. It's a toy from Bella, my dog, and I used this in the project. You want to know how? Well, remember I said I didn't want you to buy anything for this project, and I want you to make your own case for it, your own package when you hand it in to Miss Karen. So I used it to make this package here. Look, see it? I had to find a way to close it. So it's a bit hard to show you with one hand, but I took this little string and I made a hole there, and I just tied it there so I won't lose it. And then when I want to close it, I just put the string through the other hole, and ta-da! I can close it. And this is the package that I made. Miss Karen's memory game about the story of stuff. Play and learn. So this is also just a cardboard. You see, that's from a package of crackers, just folded in half. And it creates an envelope when I staple it here. Because remember I told you I didn't want you to use any plastic for your project, just to help you become aware of recycling and reusing. So this is an example of the project I would like you to do. I hope you had fun watching my video. I certainly had a lot of fun doing this project. I learned a lot through my research, and I absolutely can't wait to see what you guys show up with in class. If you need help, you can simply go to Miss Karen English Teacher and watch this video again. In the meantime, enjoy learning. Bye-bye for now.